King Cumber has given us a call, reminding us all to put a bowl of water out for the birdies. I actually put a bowl of water out for a little gecko in our house the other day that I found in the kitchen sink. We're having a fantastic lizard season.
Are you?
Yeah,
Right.
the lizards have just exploded. They're just fantastic.
Well, when we're all gone, the lizards and the cockroaches will be celebrating.
That's it. So I found a little gecko in the sink, so I sort of got him out and put him down, put a few drops of water on the floor there for him to have a drink.
I hope he said thank you.
No,
thanks. If you are at home and preparing your house and feeling a little bit nervous, and we've been talking a lot about the catastrophic fire conditions today, we thought we'd bring you a little bit of entertainment from a really great musician who's performing tonight to just sort of lighten the mood a little bit. And with that in mind, all the way from the United States, we welcome Joe Pug. Hello.
How you guys doing?
Well, yeah. What do you reckon?
You guys have already given me so many good ideas for album titles already. I think my next record will be called Fantastic Lizard Season.
Oh, right. Oh, fantastic.
Followed by Ratty Old Day.
Yeah.
A ratty old day, yeah.
Joe, you're from Maryland in the States.
What do you? I just wanted to get your opinion of coming into Sydney on a day like this when everyone is on, as Robbie says it, on tenterhooks. What does that feel like? Do you have anything similar where you are in Maryland, Joe?
Not in Maryland, but I was just on the road for a tour on the West Coast in the States, in California,
Oh, my
and almost
goodness.
exactly the same thing
Sure.
is happening. So you guys are having these wildfires down here. And in the States, in California, in a lot of places, they're just turning off the power beforehand because the utilities don't want to be responsible for a downed wire starting a fire.
Yeah, we have had that issue in the past here as well.
But they haven't gone as far as turning off the electricity.
Although
mercifully,
we should mention that the state is under a state of emergency, and if Shane Fitzsimmons so decides that he wants the utilities,
power off?
he can actually order it. So he has complete control in these fire conditions
So,
to do just that.
To answer your question, sadly, no, it's not strange to be down here with this situation going on. It's kind of going on all over the world.
It is a bit, sadly enough. Tell us a little bit about your background, Joe, and getting into music.
Yeah, I started out, I was working as a carpenter in Chicago for many years, and I was playing music at night, and then one day my first record made its way into the hands of an American musician named Steve Earle, who's a legend.
Yep.
And Steve took me on the road throughout the U.S. and Europe, and it changed my life. I quit working as a carpenter. I went on the road to play music, and I've been on the road playing music ever since. That was about a decade ago.
Yeah. Steve Earle, of course, is a fellow that's had an interesting past. We've seen him in The Wire as an actor, playing a fellow who helps recovering drug addicts, but he himself obviously had his own issues in real life with substance abuse and all kinds of things. What was he like as I take it, a kind of musical mentor to a fellow like you?
He made a profound difference in my life. The tour that I was on with him, he was playing solo acoustic. So every night, it would be me with an acoustic guitar for 30 minutes and then just Steve with an acoustic guitar for 90. And it was my graduate school, basically. I didn't graduate college, but that was my graduate school, seeing Steve do that. He's very exacting. He would get angry sometimes if he'd suggest something to me and I didn't get it done right, for sure. But it was... It made a huge difference in my life.
And you have a very popular podcast called The Working Songwriter. Tell us what happens on that podcast.
Yeah, so, being on the road a lot as a musician, there's only so much music that you can listen to in a day. So I started listening to a ton of podcasts. And there was this one podcast that I really wanted to hear, and I started searching for it, and I couldn't find it. I couldn't believe no one had made it. So I decided to make it myself, and it's basically a monthly conversation where I interview a songwriter that I admire for about an hour and really go deep on their career and their life. And I try to put it into context with some essays about them, some biographies about them, and some poetry that matches their ethos.
Wow, okay.
Well, that's a really lovely thing to do. That sounds great.
Yeah.
And you've got an album out, your fourth one.
I do, yeah. It's called The Flooding Color, and it came out this July.
Okay, and I believe, considering you're cradling your guitar there, that you may be prepared to play us a song from it.
It'd be my pleasure. I'm going to play you the title track from that album.
Okay, fantastic. Joe Pug performing live for us today on ABC Radio Sydney.
clap of lightning, I awaken to a foot of water standing in my basement. It started rising, it took me under. The flood is coming. This is not history in black and white now. In a perfect storm there isn't any high ground. The end of childhood, the end of summer, the flood in color. They tried to warn me, I wouldn't listen. And now all at once I'm drowning in my kitchen. My legs are broken from treading water. The flood is coming, the flood is coming. I tried to bargain, I tried to reason, but the sky was deaf, the rain was never ceasing. It's not some cheap bed that I can cover. The flood in color, the flood in color. So listen close now, I was dead wrong to think that things could work themselves out in the long run. Pay attention, heed the thunder. The flood is coming, the flood in color.
Aw,
Thank you.
I'm glad you found your way into music full time. That was good.
I'm sure you make a lovely cabinet, but that was really sensational.
No, I was a terrible carpenter.
Were you okay? Joe Pug performing live for us
gorgeous.
this morning, and the title track from his album Flood in Colour. We are dreaming, well, not of floods, but certainly a bit of rain would be nice. Thank you so much, Joe. That was really sensational.
Thanks for having me. I'm going to be at the Lansdowne Hotel tonight, touring for Love Police and playing a show. So, thanks for helping me on tonight and promoting the show. I appreciate it.
And if for our Newcastle listeners, you'll be playing Thursday night at Lizottes as well before you head off to other states in Australia.
Indeed.
Enjoy your stay here. Stay well, stay safe, and thanks very much.
Thanks for your time.
Gorgeous.
Good on you,
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks.